In America, I think it's easier where you just have to reach across the aisle, listen, and accept their views and talk.
But why can't I just be completely against? Why can a Haredi person be very, very against the army, and yet still have a wonderful relationship with someone that feels that there should be one, and that he should even be part of it?
So I think in Israel it's a much more difficult divide, because if you're going to say that you're against the army, then I think you have to not be neheneh from the benefits of having the standing army.
Before we move to that topic, I still don't understand why that has to bar people from having a relationship with each other.
I said it's a much heavier, I didn't say it's a bar, I said it's a much heavier lift.
Okay. But in that heavier lift, what's the lifting that needs to be? Like, do Mizrachnikim need to have a Shabbos retreat with Satmars? I mean, I'm exaggerating, but maybe that's not such a bad idea. But what needs to happen to start bridging these gaps?
So I think it really has to start with the Haredi people lift. I think it's a heavier lift in that they have to impart to the Mizrahi people that they value their opinion and that they don't look down upon them.
Do you think that Mizrahi people do that to Haredim?
I think it's both ways, but I think there's an action and a reaction. Like I remember last time I was in Israel, I was at the Kotel and I was davening in a minyan and actually, I showed up in jeans and a t-shirt, and I was davening, and I guess it was Shabbos, it was a morning, and I was davening with a I don't know which type of Hasidim, but they had bekishes and with colors and the whole shebang, and they gave me an aliyah. I thought that was impressive. And then there was a soldier who was there, and they gave him an aliyah, and I thought that is a way to bridge the divide.
A couple of years ago, I was on the train here, and whenever I see a soldier, I try to go up and share with them how much shakaras I took personally. I try to be neutral in these conversations, but I'm a very big proponent of the Israeli army. Not necessarily for every person to be in it, as I voiced before in the show, but I have a tremendous amount of hakaras tov for soldiers in the army. They're really moser nefesh. So I went to the soldier, and I'm a Haredi-looking fellow. And he looked at me with terror in his eyes, like I was gonna yell at him, and I could remember he was just like, "Frizzis, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your service. I really appreciate it. Coach Baruch Hu should bless you." And he didn't say, his mouth was just open, and for so long I just kind of walked away. He was just completely stunned. Yeah, we do need a lot more of that.
And I think it goes a long way.
Yeah, 100%.
We don't appreciate it. I'll tell you just a cute story from from my job. I had a patient who was not doing well. He's in the ICU. Everything I did, nothing worked. Then one of the rabbis from my neighborhood meets this man's wife by the elevator, and they got into a conversation. As Chiloni can be, possibly anti everything, but he was talking to her. Her maiden name was the same as his, so he walks back to the room with this woman, with this man's wife. Only the way, this rabbi, you got to just picture him. He's very charismatic, he's got a lot of personality. He goes into the room, he makes a Misha Berach, he does everything. It happens to be that from that time on, everything started to work out well. And it didn't matter what I did after that, the woman was like, oh, thank God for that rabbi. But she was so appreciative of it, of everything that he did. And it was amazing.
Being godly goes a long way.
Right.
Being godly goes a long way.
Adi Yom Hazeh, she says, thank God, nothing that, not me, she doesn't care about me. She's like, thank God for that rabbi. He saved my husband's life.
Right.